Welcome back, Deep Divers, to Baha'i Reflections. We are absolutely thrilled to continue our journey into the Ruhi study materials, specifically Book 1, Reflections on the Light of the Spirit.
Great to be back.
This is the second part of our new deep dive series where we're really unpacking the foundational concepts that shape our approach to spiritual growth and service. If you joined us for part 1, you know we covered some crucial ground, and if you haven't yet, no worries at all. You can always catch up on part 1 of this deep dive series to stay right with us on this incredible journey.
Yeah, it all builds, so catching up might be helpful.
Today we're zeroing in on section 2 of this book, a topic that sits at the very heart of spiritual life, prayer.
That's right. And this section, it's designed to be deeply reflective. The stated purpose from the source material is quite clear: to reflect on the significance of prayer and to reinforce the habit of praying regularly.
Reinforce the habit. That sounds key.
It is, and it builds beautifully on our previous discussion about, the path of service and the importance of reflection. It shows how our inner spiritual life directly fuels and empowers our outward actions.
So it connects the inner and the outer.
Exactly. It's a vital bridge between our internal state and our external purpose.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're starting with, a foundational understanding of our existence, a profound idea that underpins all the Ruhi courses, really. That we walk a path of service driven by what's called a twofold sense of purpose.
Right, twofold.
This means simultaneously growing spiritually and intellectually ourselves.
Check.
And also contributing actively to the betterment of society.
Yeah, actively, not passively.
What's truly insightful here, I think, is that these two aspects are presented as utterly inseparable.
Completely. It's not an either situation. It's a constant dynamic interplay.
You can't genuinely advance on one without the other working too.
That's the idea.
No.
They feed each other.
What's truly striking here, then, is how immediately this challenges a purely self-centered view of existence, which, let's face it, is pretty prevalent today.
Oh, absolutely. And Bahá'u'lláh, the prophet founder of the Bahá'í Faith, he puts it so directly. He exhorts us, "Do not busy yourselves in your own concerns. Let your thoughts be fixed upon that which will rehabilitate the fortunes of mankind and sanctify the hearts and souls of men."
Wow. Do not busy yourselves in your own concerns. That's quite a statement.
It is, and it directly addresses the first question posed in the source material. What should be the focus of our thoughts and concerns? It's a profound call to shift our perspective from what benefits me, my little world, to what benefits us, the entire human family. It's about recognizing that true well-being isn't isolated. It's intricately interconnected.
So if humanity thrives, we thrive.
Exactly. And vice versa. It really flips the script from individualistic ambition, from just my dreams, to collective flourishing.
That's a powerful reframing indeed. And it's not just about what we shouldn't do, focusing only on ourselves, but what our very existence is for.
Precisely. There's another powerful statement from Baha'u'lláh that clarifies this.
Go on.
He says, "The purpose for which mortal men have, from utter nothingness, stepped into the realm of being, is that they may work for the betterment of the world and live together in concord and harmony."
From utter nothingness.
Yeah.
It gives you chills. So our purpose isn't passive at all.
Not in the slightest. We aren't here just to exist, just to consume air. We're here to actively build a better world, to foster unity and peace.
It's an inherently constructive and outward-focused reason for being.
Exactly. The profound insight here isn't just that we should contribute, maybe if we feel like it,
Right.
but that our very existence is engineered for it. It shifts the focus from what's my personal purpose to my purpose is collective action.
It's not a suggestion. It's like the design spec.
Kind of. It's the very fabric of our being, challenging any notion of passive existence.
Okay. So this outward collective purpose,
Yeah.
how does it connect to our inner life? Because you said they were inseparable.
Precisely. This outward purpose is intimately tied to our inner condition.
Yeah.
The writings emphasize the necessity of a pure heart.
A pure heart.
Yes. Baha'u'lláh states, "A pure heart is as a mirror. Cleanse it with the burnish of love and severance from all save God, that the true sun may shine therein and the eternal morning dawn."
A mirror. I like that analogy. So how do we cleanse it? It says love and severance from all save God. What does that mean, severance? Sounds a bit drastic.
That's a common first reaction, but think of severance from all save God not as abandoning the world or becoming a hermit,
Okay.
but as a deliberate decluttering of your inner life. It's like wiping the dust and smudges off that mirror.
What are the smudges?
Our endless worries, maybe attachment to fleeting material things, status, reputation, or even just distracting thoughts, negative patterns.
Right, the mental clutter.
Exactly. When those impurities are cleared, the mirror of our heart can perfectly reflect the divine light, allowing wisdom and guidance to shine through clearly.
So it's about refining our inner being to be a clear vessel for divine grace.
Yes, and ensuring our intentions are pure as well. That's crucial.
So spiritual purification isn't just some lofty ideal. It's actually a prerequisite for receiving divine blessings. Is that what it's saying?
That's what Abdu'l-Bahá confirms. He's the son of Bahá'u'lláh and his appointed successor. He states, "Your hearts must be pure and your intentions sincere in order that you may become recipients of the divine bestowals."
Wow. Pure hearts and sincere intentions.
They literally open us up to divine grace and spiritual progress. Imagine it like a finely tuned instrument.
Okay.
If the strings are clean and in alignment, the music flows beautifully, right?
Sure.
Spiritually, if our hearts are pure and our intentions genuine meaning, we're seeking God's will and the good of humanity, not just personal gain or recognition.
Yeah.
Then we become truly receptive to God's blessings and guidance. It's a dynamic interplay between our inner state and the abundance of divine grace waiting to flow in.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, the source material then brings up some common sayings, right? And asks us to think about them.
Yes. Statements like, first you should take care of yourself, or follow your dreams, or even, it is all right for your motives to be selfish.
Things you hear all the time.
Exactly. And these represent a worldview entirely different from the Baha'i teachings we've just been discussing, a worldview often prevalent in contemporary society that emphasizes, radical individualism and self-fulfillment above all else.
They seem almost opposite of the quotes we just read.
They stand in stark contrast to the Baha'i principle of selfless service and collective welfare. The Baha'i teaching suggests that true happiness and fulfillment aren't found by focusing solely on yourself.
Even if you achieve those dreams.
Right, but rather by actively working for the betterment of the world and purifying your motives to serve God and humanity. Selfish motives, even if they seem to lead to some outward success, are considered inconsistent with the understanding of human purpose in these texts.
Why? Because they distract us.
They distract us from the higher aim of contributing to collective upliftment. We all probably know someone who pursues their dreams relentlessly, achieves them, maybe, but still feels hollow inside.
Yeah, definitely.
These teachings suggest why. If those dreams are purely self-serving, they're fundamentally misaligned with our deeper human purpose. It can lead to a kind of spiritual poverty, even amidst material gain.
That's a powerful shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Truly moving from a self-centric view to a human-centric one,
Yeah.
and then ultimately a God-centric one, all intertwined.
Beautifully put.
So if our ultimate purpose is this grand vision of service and societal betterment, how do we personally tap into the strength and wisdom needed for such a monumental task? Seems overwhelming.
It can feel that way. But the answer, as Ruhi reveals, lies in recognizing an incredible truth about ourselves, our inherent nobility, and then fundamentally turning to God.
Nobility. Okay, building on that foundation, a conviction central to this twofold purpose, our spiritual growth and our contribution to society, is the profound understanding that we have all been created noble.
Yes, and this isn't just like an aspirational idea or a nice thought. It's presented as our inherent reality, our default setting, if you will.
Our default setting, I like that.
And what truly strikes me about this is how Baha'u'lláh expresses it in the O Son of Spirit tablet. It's a truly profound passage, almost like a cosmic wake-up call.
Read it for us.
He says, O Son of Spirit, I created thee rich, why dost thou bring thyself down to poverty? Noble I made thee, wherewith dost thou abase thyself? Out of the essence of knowledge I gave thee beam, why seekest thou enlightenment from anyone beside me? Out of the clay of love I molded thee, how dost thou busy thyself with another? Turn thy sight unto thyself, that thou mayest find me standing within thee, mighty, powerful, and self-subsisting.
Wow. Each question hits hard. Rich, why poverty? Noble, why abase thyself?
Exactly. It profoundly redefines our understanding of self-worth and our origin. Each rhetorical question emphasizes our inherent spiritual wealth, nobility, knowledge, and love, all given by God. It challenges us to look within, to recognize that the divine attributes and potential are already there, bestowed upon us at creation.
Not something we have to somehow acquire from outside.
Precisely. And the powerful concluding statement, Turn thy sight unto thyself, that thou mayest find me standing within thee, is so key to the Baha'i understanding.
What does that mean, find me standing within thee?
It means God isn't just some external deity far off in the heavens. He's also an inherent living presence within our very being, that divine spark.
So true enlightenment and connection come from recognizing and nurturing that spark within us.
Yes. Rather than constantly seeking external validation or fulfillment elsewhere, it's like a call to internal spiritual archaeology, digging down to find the treasure that's already inside.
So it's about realizing our true identity, not just our potential. We carry within us this incredible divine blueprint.
Exactly. And to truly live up to this inherent nobility, the teachings explain that we must turn to the source of our being and seek enlightenment from him.
And how do we do that?
Prayer is described as a compelling way to achieve this.
Okay, so prayer is the method for accessing that inner nobility.
It's a primary way. Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Bahá'í Faith, clearly stakes prayer's chief goal: the development of the individual in society through the acquisition of spiritual virtues and powers. It is the soul of man that has first to be fed, and this spiritual nourishment prayer can best provide.
The soul of man that has first to be fed. That's powerful, like food for the soul.
It's a beautiful analogy. Just as our physical bodies need food to survive and thrive, our souls need prayer for their nourishment.
And what are these spiritual virtues and powers that prayer helps us acquire?
We're talking about things like patience in adversity, real truthfulness in all our dealings, genuine compassion for others, the courage to stand for justice even when it's hard, resilience when things go wrong.
So practical strengths, not just nice ideas.
Absolutely practical. These are strengths nourished and strengthened through regular spiritual engagement, particularly prayer. It's not just a ritual, it's essential sustenance for our deepest, most authentic selves.
It's a perfect parallel, isn't it? You wouldn't expect your body to function optimally without food.
Right.
Yet we often neglect the spiritual aspect, leaving our souls kind of malnourished.
It happens easily in a busy world, which leads us to a crucial question that often comes up, especially for people exploring this seriously.
Which is?
If God is the all-knowing, the all-wise, if he created us and knows what's in our hearts and what's best for us, and he certainly doesn't need our prayers.
Right. He doesn't need anything from us.
Then why do we pray? What's the point from our perspective?
That's the paradox, isn't it? It seems almost counterintuitive on the surface. Why bother telling an all-knowing God what we need or how we feel?
Exactly. But the teachings offer a truly beautiful and profound answer. Abdu'l-Bahá gives us this insight.
Okay.
He says, in the highest prayer, men pray only for the love of God, not because they fear him or hell or hope for bounty or heaven.
So not out of fear for reward.
No. He continues, when a man falls in love with a human being, it is impossible for him to keep from mentioning the name of his beloved. How much more difficult is it to keep from mentioning the name of God when one has come to love him?
The love analogy again.
The spiritual man finds no delight in anything save in commemoration of God.
So the highest prayer is motivated purely by love.
This completely reorients our understanding. It shifts prayer from being a mere duty or like a transactional exchange, I do this, you give me that, or trying to avoid something negative, to a spontaneous outpouring of the deepest human emotion, love. The highest prayer is defined by its absolute purity of motive.
Just love, no strings attached.
Exactly. So the question, why do we pray, is answered by this analogy of human love. It's a natural, irresistible impulse.
If you love someone, you want to talk to them, mention their name.
Right. You want to be with them, express that love, that closeness, how much more so for the divine beloved, the very source of all existence, all love, all beauty.
And what does commemoration of God mean in this context? Is it just thinking about God?
It's more than just a mental exercise. It means remembrance, praise, deep reflection, and a constant turning of the heart to God. It's not just reciting words, it's a state of being, a continuous awareness and adoration that permeates our inner world.
Okay, that makes sense. And Abdu'l-Bahá reinforces this, doesn't he? He extends that same analogy.
He does, making it so relatable. He explains, if one friend loves another, is it not natural that he should wish to say so? Though he knows that that friend is aware of his love, does he still not wish to tell him of it?
That's so true. Even if your best friend knows you love them deeply, you still want to tell them.
Of course. You want to connect, to express that affection. Abdu'l-Bahá continues, it is true that God knows the wishes of all hearts, but the impulse to pray is a natural one, springing from man's love to God.
So the impulse itself comes from love.
Yes. It isn't about informing God of something he doesn't already know. It springs entirely from our inherent love for him, a natural inclination of the soul to connect with its creator, like a child reaching for a parent.
It's about building and deepening a relationship.
Exactly. Not just relaying information or making requests.
Okay, so we've uncovered the profound why of prayer. It's this pure outpouring of love for the divine. But if it's truly this deep connection, what does it do? How does this internal expression of love actually manifest as a tangible force in our spiritual journey? Does it change anything?
That's a powerful question, because the Baha'i writings use incredibly dynamic and, well, powerful metaphors to describe this purifying and transformative effect. It's not just a feeling, it's an action.
Like what kind of metaphors?
Well, in a prayer revealed by Bahá'u'lláh, we read, I beseech thee to make of my prayer a fire that will burn away the veils which have shut me out from thy beauty.
Prayer as fire. Wow. What's burning away? What are these veils?
That's such a vivid image, isn't it? And I think for many listeners, this next part is where the true transformative power of prayer really starts to unfold. These aren't just poetic flourishes. They describe the profound, active spiritual work prayer does within us.
Okay.
Like a fire, prayer consumes the veils that obstruct our spiritual vision and our connection to God.
So what are these veils? Like, practically speaking.
They can be our negative thoughts, our worldly attachments maybe to possessions or status, or even just habits. Our ego, certainly, our ignorance, our self-centeredness, prejudices, even just our limited perceptions of reality.
All the stuff that clouds the mirror we talked about earlier.
Exactly. These are the things that cloud our spiritual mirror, making it difficult to perceive divine beauty and truth clearly. Prayer, through its purifying heat, helps to burn away these impurities, revealing the clarity that lies beneath. It's an active process of spiritual alchemy, changing base metal into gold, metaphorically speaking.
And the prayer continues,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't stop at fire.
No, it doesn't. It also asks God to make prayer a light that will lead me unto the ocean of thy presence.
Fire and light. So how is prayer like a light?
Well, if fire burns away the obstacles, light illuminates the path forward. Prayer guides us closer to God's presence. Now, this isn't a physical location.
Right.
It's a state of being, a deepening of understanding, an experience of profound inner peace and clarity of purpose. Prayer dispels the darkness of confusion and doubt, offering clarity and direction on our spiritual journey.
Like a lighthouse guiding a ship through a foggy night.
That's a great way to put it. It helps us navigate the complexities of life with greater spiritual insight.
The imagery just keeps building, doesn't it? It seems to move towards this idea of spiritual sustenance, like prayer is the very essence of life itself.
It does. The same prayer also asks, make my prayer, O my Lord, a fountain of living waters, whereby I may live as long as thy sovereignty endureth, and may make mention of thee in every world of thy worlds.
A fountain of living waters. That sounds incredibly refreshing.
Doesn't it? How can prayer be like a fountain of living waters? It bestows upon our souls spiritual sustenance and refreshment. Just as water is essential for physical life and growth, prayer provides vital spiritual nourishment, granting true eternal life to the soul. It's a continuous flowing source of vitality.
And it sustains us not just now, but in every world of thy worlds. That implies beyond this life.
That's the implication. It sustains us through every stage of existence in God's vast, unending creation. So again, these images, fire, light, living water, they aren't just poetic flourishes. They describe the profound, active spiritual work prayer does within us, transforming and sustaining our very essence.
Okay, so with these really powerful effects in mind, purification, illumination, sustenance, what is the ultimate state of prayer? What attributes does it create in us?
The writings go even further, describing the immense joy and the spiritual qualities generated through consistent prayer and conversation with God. It moves beyond just individual instances of praying.
And this truly is a moment of profound insight. Abdu'l-Bahá offers this powerful affirmation. He says, there is nothing sweeter in the world of existence than prayer.
Nothing sweeter. Think about that.
He continues, man must live in a state of prayer. The most blessed condition is the condition of prayer and supplication. Prayer is conversation with God.
Conversation, not a monologue.
The greatest attainment or the sweetest state is none other than conversation with God. It creates spirituality, creates mindfulness and celestial feelings, begets new attractions of the kingdom, and engenders the susceptibilities of the higher intelligence.
This passage is incredibly rich and so deeply personal. It states unequivocally that the sweetest state in existence, the peak experience, is conversation with God.
going beyond just ritual or asking for things.
Absolutely. It portrays prayer as an intimate, personal, continuous dialogue with the divine. And that phrase, man must live in a state of prayer. What does that mean?
Yeah, that sounds intense, like 247.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean being on your knees all day. It means cultivating a continuous consciousness of God, a living in communion, where prayer becomes an inherent, constant part of your being, woven into everything.
A pervasive awareness of God's presence in every moment, every thought, every action.
That's the ideal, which, raises an important question. How can we cultivate such a state of prayer in our daily lives? How do we move beyond just dedicated prayer times to this continuous awareness?
But that sounds like a lifelong journey.
It certainly is, but it's about integrating faith into every breath, seeing the sacred in the ordinary.
And the attributes created by this state of prayer, they sound amazing. Abdu'l-Bahá lists several. Can we break those down?
Let's try. First, spirituality. That's our ever-deepening connection to the divine source, that feeling of being linked to something greater.
Okay. Then mindfulness.
An increased awareness of the present moment, yes, but also of our inner reality, our thoughts and feelings, and the spiritual dimensions around us, being truly present.
Celestial feelings, what are those?
Think of a sense of joy, peace, hope, upliftment that sort of transcends earthly worries, an inner buoyancy, a lightness of being.
Nice. New attractions of the kingdom.
Well,
That sounds intriguing.
it implies a growing pull towards divine truths, towards living a spiritual life, towards service. You start recognizing the inherent beauty in selfless action, in striving for justice and unity. Your desires start to shift.
And finally, susceptibilities of the higher intelligence. That sounds like becoming smarter?
Not necessarily in an academic sense. It means an enhanced capacity for spiritual insight, wisdom, intuition, and understanding that goes beyond mere intellectual knowledge or logic. You become more discerning, more attuned to deeper realities.
So these attributes, they manifest in practical spiritual growth. They make us better people, more effective in the world.
That's the idea. They make us more attuned, more discerning, more compassionate, more resilient, and more effective in our daily lives and our service. Imagine navigating a difficult conversation, for example. How might this higher intelligence inform your words?
You might respond with more wisdom and empathy instead of just reacting emotionally.
Exactly. You'd have access to a deeper wellspring of understanding.
Okay, so if we were to synthesize all we've covered about the nature of prayer from these profound insights, what are some key takeaways, like short, impactful phrases?
We could definitely pull some out. Based on these quotes, we can clearly state, prayer is conversation with God, an intimate dialogue.
Yeah.
Prayer is spiritual nourishment for the soul, essential food.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is a purifier, that fire that burns away the veils of ignorance and ego.
Right.
Prayer is a light. It guides us to divine presence and deeper understanding. And perhaps, most sweetly, prayer is a source of profound joy and higher intelligence.
That's a great summary. With that incredible understanding of prayer's inner sweetness and attributes, let's consider what happens when we voice our prayers. When we actually, intone sacred verses.
Ah, yes, the outward expression. The teachings tell us there's a profound, far-reaching spiritual effect that extends beyond just our personal space.
Far-reaching. How so?
This is truly fascinating. It reveals this invisible, almost energetic aspect of prayer and recitation. Bahá'u'lláh guides us on this.
What does he say?
Intone, O my servant, the verses of God that have been received by thee, as intoned by them who have drawn nigh unto him.
Okay, stop there. Intone. That word is specific. It's not just read or say.
Exactly. To intone means to recite in a rhythmic, chanting, or melodious voice, often with a deep spiritual feeling, a kind of sacred utterance. It emphasizes the devotional quality, the heartfelt connection, rather than just mechanically vocalizing the words.
And how should we intone?
As intoned by them who have drawn nigh unto him, which suggests with devotion, reverence, and spiritual intent, trying to emulate the purity and spiritual state of those who are truly close to God. It's about the spirit of the recitation as much as the words themselves.
Okay, continue the quote.
That the sweetness of thy melody may kindle thine own soul and attract the hearts of all men. Whoso reciteth in the privacy of his chamber the verses revealed by God, the scattering angels of the Almighty shall scatter abroad the fragrance of the words uttered by his mouth, and shall cause the heart of every righteous man to throb.
Scattering angels. Scatter abroad the fragrance? That's beautiful imagery. What does it mean?
It refers to a spiritual diffusion. It implies that the spiritual power embedded in the recited words isn't confined to the room or even the person reciting them. It extends outward, carried by unseen spiritual forces into the world.
Like a spiritual ripple effect. Or like broadcasting a signal.
Exactly like that, a kind of divine Wi-Fi signal being broadcast. And the effect this has on our own souls is profound. The sweetness of our melody may kindle thine own soul. Igniting it.
Yes, igniting it with spiritual fervor and light, awakening dormant capacities. And even if we're initially unaware of its immediate impact, the quote continues.
Let's hear the rest.
Though he may at first remain unaware of its effect, yet the virtue of the grace vouchsafed unto him must needs sooner or later exercise its influence upon his soul. Thus have the mysteries of the revelation of God been decreed by virtue of the will of him who is the source of power and wisdom.
So it works on us, even if we don't feel it right away. It's a deep, transformative process over time.
Precisely. It subtly changes us from within.
And the effects aren't just internal, which is really quite remarkable. It also says this act will attract the hearts of all men and cause the heart of every righteous man to throb.
This means the spiritual energy released has a tangible, though often unseen, impact on others too. It suggests a profound interconnectedness. Our private acts of devotion can influence the spiritual atmosphere of the world, drawing others towards truth, awakening their own spiritual senses, even if they're not consciously aware of the source of that spiritual pull.
It speaks to an unseen network of spiritual influence. Our prayers matter beyond ourselves.
Absolutely. They contribute to the spiritual ecology of the planet.
Wow. That profound impact, both internal and external, naturally leads us to specific examples of prayers and the attitude of supplication. The Ruhi Book includes 2 powerful passages from Bahá'u'llah's prayers for us to reflect on.
Yes, concrete examples of this loving conversation with God. The first one beautifully captures a spirit of profound submission and alignment with God's will.
What does it say?
It says, O God, my God, look not upon my hopes and my doings, nay, rather look upon thy will that hath encompassed the heavens and the earth. By thy most great name, O thou Lord of all nations, I have desired only what thou didst desire, and love only what thou dost love.
Look not upon my hopes and doings, look upon thy will. That's a big ask. Detaching from our own desires.
It is. It encourages us to detach from our own limited, often self-centered desires and align our will completely with God's expansive, all-encompassing will. It's a recognition that his plan is infinitely greater, wiser, and more benevolent than anything we could conceive on our own.
It's a surrender of personal ego to divine wisdom.
Exactly, trusting that his desire is always for our highest good and the good of all creation.
And the second passage, you mentioned it highlights a dual nature, God's transcendence, yet our yearning for nearness.
Yes, it's a beautiful tension. It reads, Too high art thou for the praise of those who are nigh unto thee to ascend unto the heaven of thy nearness, or for the birds of the hearts of them who are devoted to thee to attain to the door of thy gate.
So God is beyond our highest praise, beyond the reach of even the most devoted hearts.
That's the first part. It conveys God's immense transcendence, indicating he is far beyond human comprehension. Our attempts to define him with words or concepts will always fall short. But then the prayer continues. I testify that thou hast been sanctified above all attributes and holy above all names. No God is there but thee, the most exalted, the all-glorious. Within that acknowledgement of his utter greatness and unknowability, there's the implicit deep yearning of the heart to draw near, to reach the door of thy gate.
So it balances profound humility with profound love and desire for connection.
Precisely. It emphasizes humble adoration, recognizing God as utterly unique while still holding on to that innate desire to connect. It's approaching the unknowable with both awe and affection.
Okay. Having looked at the essence and power of prayer, what about its practical application? Specifically, when we ask God for things, we all do it. How should we approach supplication?
The teachings offer a really nuanced and, I think, comforting understanding of this. Abdu'l-Bahá states, It behooveth the servant to pray to and seek assistance from God, and to supplicate and implore his aid.
So asking is appropriate. It behooveth us.
Yes. He continues, Such becometh the rank of servitude, and the Lord will decree whatsoever he desireth in accordance with his consummate wisdom.
The rank of servitude. What does that mean? Sounds a bit subservient.
It's not about subservience in a negative way. It's about humility. Recognizing our profound dependence on God and placing our unwavering trust in his consummate wisdom in whatever he decrees.
Even if we don't understand the decree.
Especially then. It's a position of loving humility, acknowledging that God knows what is truly best for us, even when we, with our limited perception, cannot see the bigger picture. It's a profound act of trust.
Okay. Now, this next insight you mentioned earlier is surprising and really beautiful. It broadens our understanding of prayer's reach.
Yes, Abdu'l-Bahá goes even further to explain the spiritual effect of prayer and how God responds. He says, "Spirit has influence, prayer has spiritual effect.
Okay, makes sense.
Therefore we pray, O God, heal the sick one. Perchance God will answer. It doesn't matter who prays. God will answer the prayer of every servant if that prayer is urgent. His mercy is vast, illimitable."
God will answer the prayer of every servant if it's urgent, regardless of who they are.
That's what it says. And then comes the really striking part. He answers the prayers of all his servants. He answers the prayer of this plant.
He answers the prayer of a plant. How?
The plant prays potentially, "O God, send me rain." God answers the prayer and the plant grows. God will answer anyone.
Wow. That idea that God answers everyone, even a plant praying potentially for rain, it fundamentally shifts how we think about asking, doesn't it?
It truly does. It highlights the universal spiritual influence of prayer and the illimitable, boundless mercy of God. The act of asking or praying potentially is universally responded to.
It's not about us deserving an answer based on our merits.
No, it's about the inherent nature of God's responsiveness to all creation, to every urgent impulse, every underlying need. It broadens our understanding of prayer beyond just human verbal requests to a universal spiritual principle of divine attention and bestowal that permeates all existence.
The very fabric of reality is designed to respond to sincere yearning. That's a beautiful way to phrase it. So while it's natural and even encouraged for us to pray for specific needs like health or progress for our families or guidance, strength, confirmation,
All valid things to ask for.
there's a crucial principle to remember here, isn't there?
Yes. The teachings emphasize that our goal in life is to align our will with His will. Therefore, we must pray for His will to be done and be ready to submit to it.
Even when asking for something specific, pray for His will to be done.
Yes, it's about letting go of our fixed ideas of what the answer should look like and instead opening ourselves to and trusting in divine wisdom, knowing that the ultimate good is what God wills, even if it's not what we initially envisioned.
That requires a lot of trust.
It does. And this perspective profoundly shifts our understanding of petitionary prayer. It moves us from a demanding posture, perhaps, to one of humble, loving submission.
Is there more guidance on this?
Yes, Abdu'l-Bahá offers profoundly reassuring words that emphasize this complete turning towards God. "O thou who art turning thy face towards God, close thine eyes to all things else and open them to the realm of the all-glorious."
Close our eyes to all things else, like distractions, worries.
Exactly. Focus entirely on God. Ask whatsoever thou wishest of Him alone. Seek whatsoever thou seekest from Him alone.
Right, only on Him.
With look He granteth 100,000 hopes. With a glance He healeth 100,000 incurable ills. With a nod He layeth balm on every wound. With a glimpse He freeth the hearts from the shackles of grief.
The imagery so powerful, God's immense capacity.
It underscores His omnipotence and limitless power, but then comes the key point about our attitude. He doeth as He doeth, and what recourse have we? He carrieth out His will, He ordaineth what He pleaseth. Then better for thee to bow down thy head in submission and put thy trust in the all-merciful Lord.
So ask sincerely, turn completely to God, trust His power, and then submit to His wisdom, whatever the outcome.
That's the essence. It's about complete reliance and trust, rather than trying to dictate outcomes. It's an invitation to profound peace that comes from letting go and trusting the all-merciful.
Okay. From the general act of prayer and supplication, we move now to a specific and highly significant practice within the Bahá'í Faith, the daily obligatory prayers.
A core element.
The Ruhi Book makes it clear that turning to God in prayer is a vital requirement of a spiritual life. And it adds something lovely. It highlights how especially sweet it is to pray to God soon after waking in the morning and at night before going to sleep.
There's something inherently centering about starting and ending your day with that direct connection. It frames everything else.
So tell us about these obligatory prayers.
Indeed. Bahá'u'lláh revealed 3 specific daily obligatory prayers, each with its own characteristics and requirements.
3 different ones.
Yes. And Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Bahá'í Faith, provided detailed explanations about them. There's the shortest one, which is actually just a single powerful verse. It's recited once every 24 hours, specifically at midday between noon and sunset.
Okay, one short one at midday. What are the others?
Then there's the medium obligatory prayer. This one is recited 3 times a day in the morning, at noon, and in the evening. And it's accompanied by specific physical actions like bowing, raising hands, sitting. It involves the whole being.
Morning, noon, and evening with actions. Got it. And the third?
The third is the long prayer. This is the most elaborate and is recited only once in every 24 hours, but you have flexibility. It can be said at any time you choose during that 24-hour period.
So 3 prayers, short, midday, medium 3 times with actions, long, once, anytime. Do we have to say all 3 every day?
No, that's the important part. Shoghi Effendi clarified. The believer is entirely free to choose any one of these 3 prayers, but is under the obligation of reciting one of them.
Ah, okay. So you choose one of 3 options each day and fulfill the obligation that way.
Exactly. It provides flexibility while ensuring that daily connection through one of these specially revealed prayers.
That makes sense. It acknowledges different capacities and circumstances. But Shoghi Effendi also says something about these prayers having a special potency, right?
Yeah.
Along with a few others.
Yes, he states that these daily obligatory prayers, together with a few other specific ones, such as the healing prayer, the Tablet of Ahmad, have been invested by Bahá'u'lláh with a special potency and significance.
Special potency, like they have extra power.
That's the implication, he continues, and should therefore be accepted as such and be recited by the believers with unquestioning faith and confidence that through them they may enter into a much closer communion with God and identify themselves more fully with his laws and precepts.
So they're seen as divinely ordained channels, like direct lines for closer communion and understanding God's laws.
Precisely. They're considered gifts, pathways specifically designed by Baha'u'lláh to aid our spiritual development and connection, like spiritual superhighways, as you put it earlier.
Now, how are these said? Alone, in groups.
This is another fascinating aspect. The source explicitly states that the 3 obligatory prayers are said individually.
Individually, not in congregation.
Correct. It emphasizes the kind of congregational prayer where a daily obligatory prayer is recited in a group according to a certain ritual does not exist in the Bahá'í Faith.
So no group recitation of the daily obligatory prayers.
No. This really highlights the personal responsibility and the intimacy of one's spiritual journey. It's a direct, unmediated conversation between the individual soul and its creator.
Is there any exception? Any congregational prayer?
Yes, there's one specific exception mentioned, the prayer for the dead. That is the only congregational prayer prescribed by Baha'u'lláh. And even then, it's recited aloud by one person, while the rest of the group stands in silence, bearing witness.
Interesting. It really reinforces that personal, unmediated relationship each soul cultivates with God. It fosters a profound sense of spiritual agency, doesn't it?
Absolutely does.
Can you share one of these prayers? Maybe the short one, as an example.
Certainly. The short obligatory prayer is a beautiful distillation of core spiritual tenets. It reads, I bear witness, O my God, that thou hast created me to know thee and to worship thee.
Starting with our purpose.
I testify at this moment to my powerlessness and to thy might, to my poverty and to thy wealth.
Humility and reliance on God.
There is none other God but thee, the help in peril, the self-subsisting.
Affirming God's oneness and sufficiency. It's short but covers so much.
It really does. In this brief prayer, we attest to our fundamental purpose, knowing and worshiping God, which, as we've discussed, is intertwined with service. We acknowledge our inherent limitations compared to his boundless power and bounty, and we affirm his absolute oneness and self-sufficiency, that he is the sole source of all strength and aid.
So that short obligatory prayer, recited at midday, it's like a daily spiritual compass recalibration.
That's a perfect description. It pulls us back to our core purpose, reminding us each day why we're here to know God, and that our strength isn't our own, but drawn from his boundless might. It's a quick, powerful reset for the soul, setting the tone for the rest of the day.
Okay, so while individual prayer, especially obligatory prayer, is clearly paramount and deeply transformative, the source also illuminates the profound power and blessings of communal worship.
Yes, moving beyond the individual act.
It says our souls are uplifted when we hear prayers being recited in gatherings, large or small. There's definitely a different energy in shared spiritual space, isn't there?
Absolutely. And Baha'u'lláh specifically calls upon us to gather ye together with the utmost joy and fellowship and recite the verses revealed by the merciful Lord.
Utmost joy and fellowship, not solemn obligation.
No, the emphasis is on joy, connection, a shared love for the divine and for each other,
Yeah.
a profound sense of spiritual camaraderie.
And what happens when we do that? What are the effects?
The quote continues, By so doing, the doors of true knowledge will be opened to your inner beings, and you will then feel your souls endowed with steadfastness and your hearts filled with radiant joy.
Doors of true knowledge opened, souls endowed with steadfastness, hearts filled with radiant joy. Those are powerful effects.
They really are. Doors of true knowledge implies deeper spiritual insights, clearer understanding of divine truths, a better grasp of reality. Steadfastness means resilience, firmness, unwavering commitment on our spiritual path, especially when things get tough. And radiant joy is that profound, radiating happiness that emanates from communal connection with the divine. It's a holistic spiritual upliftment.
And this collective experience is described beautifully by the Universal House of Justice, isn't it? The international governing body of the Baha'i Faith.
Yes, they state that devotional meetings are occasions where any soul may enter, inhale the heavenly fragrances, experience the sweetness of prayer, meditate upon the creative word, be transported on the wings of the Spirit, and commune with the one beloved.
That paints such a picture. Inhale heavenly fragrances, transported on the wings of the Spirit.
It really expands on the individual experience, showing how a collective setting can amplify spiritual benefits. At these gatherings, one can inhale the heavenly fragrances, that metaphorical sense of profound spiritual upliftment and divine presence. Experience the sweetness of prayer, reinforcing what we talked about earlier. Meditate upon the creative word, engaging deeply with sacred texts. Be transported on the wings of the Spirit, feeling that spiritual elevation, detachment from worldly concerns. And commune with the one beloved, experiencing that direct connection, deepened by the collective energy.
And what feelings are generated?
The quote continues, feelings of fellowship and common cause are generated, particularly in the spiritually heightened conversations that naturally occur at such times.
Fellowship and common cause, a sense of belonging and shared purpose.
Exactly, and through which the city of the human heart may be opened.
The city of the human heart may be opened? What does that mean?
It suggests that through shared spiritual reflection and discussion, deeper bonds are formed, understanding is fostered, and barriers between individuals, maybe prejudice, misunderstanding, indifference, are dissolved. It allows for genuine connection, empathy, and a collective spiritual awakening. It's truly a transformative space for building unity.
So what does this all mean for us? It paints a vivid picture of collective spiritual nourishment and deep human connection, where individuals come together to collectively draw closer to God and to each other.
It's a powerful community-building act, fostering unity and a shared spiritual identity.
And with this comes practical guidance on maintaining a respectful attitude, both when alone and in these gatherings.
Right. When we feel moved to pray alone, we're encouraged to wait quietly for a moment in order to cleanse our minds of the things of this world, center ourselves. While praying, we keep our thoughts centered on God, and afterwards, crucially, remain silent for some time and do not move abruptly into another activity. Allow the effects to settle.
And in a gathering.
Similarly, we should maintain a prayerful attitude and follow the words closely as though we were the one reciting them. Be fully present and engaged with the collective devotion.
It's about creating and maintaining a sacred space, isn't it? Both internally within our own minds and hearts, and externally in our shared environments, making it conducive to true communion and reflection.
Exactly. Respecting the process and the presence.
Okay, this collective experience, this community building, it naturally leads us to a crucial practical application. Hosting such gatherings is an act of service.
Yes. The Ruhi Book directly connects us back to the earlier units we discussed, the twofold purpose.
How so?
It emphasizes that all the study and reflection we've done, understanding nobility, the purpose of life, the power of prayer, it has prepared the listener for a first act on the path of service, hosting a devotional meeting.
So this is where faith becomes active contribution in a very tangible way.
Precisely. This is where the theoretical learning truly transitions into tangible, practical action within our communities. It's putting love into action.
What are the suggested first steps? How does one start?
As initial steps, the source suggests memorizing several prayers and just finding opportunities to share them informally with a few friends. Baby steps. It also strongly encourages attending existing community devotional meetings, if available, and becoming an enthusiastic supporter, learning from others, contributing to the atmosphere.
Learning by doing and by observing.
Exactly. Then, the eventual natural progression is to decide to host one's own meeting, Inviting friends, family, neighbors into the sacred space you create.
Can you do it with others?
Yes, it explicitly mentions that 2 or 3 participants of this course to start such a devotional meeting together is a common and highly effective way for this to begin. It fosters shared ownership, mutual support, and collective growth right from the start. It's often less daunting, too.
Definitely. Now, what should these meetings look like? Are there strict rules?
It's important to note that the source emphasizes there are no formulas. This isn't about rigid rituals or complicated procedures.
Okay, good.
It's about cultivating a genuine, warm, and inviting spiritual atmosphere. It is clearly a gathering of friends in which prayers are offered, passages from the writings are read, and uplifting conversations take place, all in a markedly spiritual atmosphere. Simple, yet profound.
So prayers, readings, uplifting conversations, spiritual atmosphere. What are the key qualities to aim for when hosting?
The source outlines 5 key ideas. First, extending warm and loving invitations. This means being genuinely inclusive, making everyone feel truly wanted and welcome regardless of their background or beliefs, radiating genuine care.
Okay, warmth and inclusivity. What's second?
Second, creating a welcoming environment. This involves both the physical space, making it comfortable, clean, maybe simple but beautiful, conducive to quiet reflection and conversation, and the spiritual atmosphere, fostering a deep sense of peace and belonging that allows individuals to relax and open their hearts. Third, maintaining an atmosphere of reverence. This is about cultivating that sacred space where participants can truly feel the presence of God, engage in heartfelt prayer and meditation without distraction, allowing for that profound personal and collective connection.
Reverence, got it.
Fourth, promoting joyful fellowship. Remember, Bahá'u'lláh said, utmost joy and fellowship. It's not just about solemnity, it's encouraging genuine connection, camaraderie, maybe even laughter, and a shared sense of purpose among those present, fostering unity and collective joy.
Yeah, the 5th key idea.
Finally, encouraging spiritually uplifting conversation. This means gently guiding discussions towards profound and constructive themes that might arise naturally from the readings and prayers, building on the spiritual insights to deepen understanding and inspire positive action or reflection.
So putting it all together, this isn't just about organizing an event, is it?
Not at all. It's about cultivating a spiritual oasis within a community, a space for the city of the human heart to truly open, for connections to be forged, and for seeds of transformation to be planted both individually and collectively.
And there you have it, a truly deep dive into the profound significance of prayer within the Ruhi framework. Wow. This section offers such a rich tapestry of insights into one of the most fundamental spiritual practices.
It really does. It's a foundational understanding that truly empowers our spiritual path and our interactions with the world. It helps move us from just passive understanding to active, conscious engagement with the divine.
So let's synthesize. What are the core insights we've taken away today?
Well, first, the core purpose of prayer. It's profoundly for us, not because God needs it, but for our own spiritual nourishment, our purification, and the full development of that inherent nobility we talked about.
It's about feeding the soul, allowing it to flourish.
Exactly. And second, the nature of prayer itself. It's far from just a duty or a transaction. It's presented as a loving, spontaneous conversation, a natural impulse springing from the heart's deepest love for God.
And described with those powerful metaphors, fire, light, living waters.
Right.
Yeah.
Showing its dynamic, transformative power. It purifies, illuminates, and sustains our spiritual essence. It's doing real work within us.
We also saw it's a multifaceted practice.
Beautifully balancing the deep intimacy of individual communion, like the daily obligatory prayers, with the collective upliftment and fellowship found in devotional gatherings. Both are essential for a vibrant, holistic spiritual life, connecting us to God and to each other.
And it all connects back to that twofold purpose.
Explicitly, prayer actively supports and empowers both our individual spiritual growth and our capacity for collective societal transformation. They're intertwined.
And perhaps the most powerful takeaway for me was the idea of aligning our will with God's.
Yes. That the ultimate goal, even when we ask for specific things, is to align our finite will with God's infinite will, fostering that spirit of humble submission and unwavering trust in His boundless wisdom, even when we don't understand.
Recognizing His plan is always for our highest good.
Exactly. And we can really take to heart those supportive and deeply moving quotes we discussed.
Like which ones? Remind us of a few key ones.
Shobi Effendi's profound insight. It is the soul of man that has first to be fed, and this spiritual nourishment prayer can best provide. Baha'u'llah's powerful imagery of prayer as a fire that will burn away the veils that separate us from divine beauty.
Right.
And Abdu'l-Bahá's beautiful, heartfelt affirmation that there is nothing sweeter in the world of existence than prayer. These aren't just words on a page.
No, they're invitations. Invitations to a deeper way of living, a constant turning toward the source of all being.
Precisely.
So as you, our listeners, reflect on all of this, maybe consider this provocative thought for your own journey. How might truly internalizing the state of prayer, that idea of a constant loving conversation with God, not just a daily ritual you perform, how might that fundamentally change your experience of daily life? And how might it change your ability to contribute to the betterment of the world around you? What new doors might open if prayer becomes truly your constant companion?
Food for thought, indeed.
That brings us to the end of our deep dive into the prayer section of Ruhi Book 1.
It's such a foundational understanding. It really empowers our spiritual path and our interactions, moving us from just passive understanding to active engagement and hopefully profound transformation.
Indeed. Remember, there will be one more part of this Ruhi book coming this week, where we'll conclude our journey through Book 1, Reflections on the Light of the Spirit.
Looking forward to wrapping it up.
Make sure you subscribe to the deep dive. Maybe leave a comment with your thoughts on prayer. We'd love to hear them. And share this deep dive with anyone who you think might benefit from this profound exploration. And if you're looking for even more, consider joining our membership to receive early or exclusive content. We look forward to concluding this enriching journey of Ruhi Book 1 with you very soon. Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep into the truths that matter.